Which is good. This is the new normal. I'm totally willing to accept it. Just switch things around here. This. Come on. Yesterday you were so fast. You were so slow. Well. If you want to then change your settings. You had. Of course you had. Wasn't even surprised there. No, that's just how it usually is. Getting surprised. And just let me change a few things around before we start. Shouldn't take long. One can hope. Come on. Don't we all love this technology, please? Be nice for once. Just once. Oh, well. Yeah, it should be. Well, okay, so I can switch them around now, like this. And now, we've been so very busy doing nonsense for everybody. It is time to actually do some story again. And since I'm a very well-known hoarder of all team members, roommates, and whatever else you can find, I will do just that. So, let's leave Sol, and we'll go and get us some Liara. Four systems, you say? I don't know which system you actually are, and I don't care, because I'm gonna look at every last one of you. Which is basically all I'm gonna do today, sadly enough, because actually I have a bit of a time problem there. Should we make the game a bit quiet, huh? Because it's screaming. It's screaming in my ears. And I do need those. Well, people have claimed that I don't tend to listen all that well. That's actually not true. I do listen. I just don't always feel the need to answer. Sometimes that's actually the better solution if you ask me. Something, yeah, maybe not. That looks pretty clear. We're already finding lots of nice stuff. That's already a good beginning. Well, now. Don't really remember in which system the actual dig site is. Kinda, you know, it's been a while. But I'm sure we'll find it sooner or later. I have no worries and no doubt whatsoever when it comes to that. Oh boy, it's a very large belt of asteroids, isn't it? An unknown one. I knew something was hiding. Now I do not remember, was there actually even one of those little builties that actually had more than one object in it? Yes, I can't even remember that much. I could look it up, but, you know, why would I do that right now? It's something I would do before starting a final mission to just get stuff completed. Terum. Ah, that looks like it. Good, let's remember that one and look at the other systems for now. We can get everything out. Hello, little unknown. I want to survey you. And Phaistos, who have nothing to offer. Good, let's remember the Knossos, and let's go to the other ones. Archilus. You sound almost French. Oh, I'm sure if French could make something out of that. Word-wise. I'm pretty good at that. I was pretty good at making it sound rather obnoxious, but you know, we're French after all. Can't really blame it that their whole language is pretty much built around sounding like a douche. But weak. Nothing on you. There's apparently some matrix waiting on it. Oh, good. Another one I can land on. I wonder. Which reminds me that I don't actually remember how the mission actually plays out. I have erased that from my memory apparently. Also reminds me that I had a bit of a a planning session, one could call it that, I guess. The tech boy the other day. Now I actually need to think about a good way to communicate that. Because actually concerns the plans for, well, this grand deal, also known as 2021.
Commander, I'm picking up a signal from the planet's surface. It looks like an automated distress beacon.
We're okay. Until there is something here. Cool. There it is. You can't hide from me, little asteroid. I'm getting loads of stuff. And you have nothing. Delicious, you said. Actually, I think I actually had a... Yes, I had. Yes. I actually have a nice little site open where the maps are, so that I don't actually have to look through all the goddamn maps the old-fashioned way. Kinda saves myself some time there. Because I remember having to go through 3 or 4 places while actually having to, you know, explore all of the planets completely. Pain in the ass, put it mildly. Somewhere there should be something. And I'm not really willing to do that again. Now, if I was still the same smart and bright-eyed kid I was at some point in the past, I would have probably written myself my own little map, or, you know, on the more modern way, and actually just took a screenshot as I finished. Pushed down with the name of the planet and shaved it, but apparently I'm not that bright-eyed anymore. Also, I'm not that young, and not somebody who has that far ahead when it comes to its games, apparently. Clean shit. Yes, that is totally a level terrain that I parked on. And yes, we are level, that is. Oh, you can't? Well, the game can. That is the important thing. Well, the good thing is, when you haven't played the game in a few years, you can actually come back to it and be like, wow, I don't even remember all the details anymore. Kinda nice, isn't it? I mean, the basics are still there. Yes, sure, I actually do remember how this game, well, progresses, basically. As far as the main story is concerned. But the actual details, if you would ask me now how the Pharaohs actually looks from memory, I would be like, no idea, no clue whatsoever. But once I land, I would be like, ah, yes, this one. I remember you. Well, most likely. Or maybe I've forgotten a few things, but you know, for me anything too important. Okay, I now have the displeasure actually to having to play by the clock. Woohoo. That's a new experience. I already don't like it. Feels a bit like doing shift work when you have a boss that is really anal about time. Not that the bastard ever actually paid for all the time we did. Well, let's not direct that one memory up. And instead focus on the more bright things. Namely, resources. Finding them, collecting them, feeling good about myself about it. And also you are a very right one. You know, if that is a mighty if this were still the good old days, I would be very much happy that BioWare goes ahead and actually gives this a graphical overhaul. Because I'd be like, yo, that's good, they're probably gonna add some cool stuff here and there, and that's all gonna be great. Nowadays, when I hear BioWare trying to do something, especially with their old IPs, I'm kinda like, oh god, this is going to be horrible, isn't it? Oh boy, I have not this literally the most smallest bit of doubt in my mind that it actually will be white purple indeed. Oops, I messed that up. But it doesn't matter because I actually have more than enough Omni stuff. No problem. What else is here? This is not only this distressing. Let's actually first go to the anomaly back there and then the distressing. I do wonder what it is. Can't recall from memory, so I will have to find out the old-fashioned way. Diving there and looking at it. But sometimes when you land on planets like, oh right, I remember you. Like this one with the, already forgotten the name. It's like, we're getting a distress signal because it's sacred something, sacred heart or something like this. Something obnoxiously obvious. Well, you're medical, we're important, you need to help us. And it's like, oh no, it's a trap. Pretty damn fucking obvious. Unsure. I'll give the gift that it was a pretty clever ski, but sticks to my mind because it's just so fucking obvious. Like, this is a too obvious target to help. And yes, I believe actually it was Shepard himself who at some point, was it in the last stream or something, pointed out that, you know, it's big, bad galaxy out there and they're not going nuts. Necessarily. Or you would just roam planets and then be like, whoa, we've got a distress signal, let's go in there, it's totally not gonna be a trap. It's actually beyond me. I'd be a lot more careful about that. Well, what horribleness is you have in store? That is horribleness, indeed. I hate you. Especially I hate you when I don't know where you are coming from, because that technically can mean that I'm getting right under you. Please don't spawn right under me. Please die. Well, I guess this actually was a distress call.
Alliance soldiers. Looks like they were lured here by the distress beacon.
Yeah, I think so too. Just like us.
These men were under Admiral Kahoku's command. He'd want to know what happened here.
He might want to know. He might not want to know, actually. That's a pretty massacre. I got here and I grew up. Let's check it out. Just like us. But I guess they went out of the car first. Although they don't have such a cool car. Oh. That kinda fucked him up. Actually, isn't that the guy who said... Yes, he said it, isn't he? Sitting there like, yeah, I need information. You need to tell me. And there was one... Makedon Knossos is where we need to go. I believe. Well, I can tell them about it the next time on the Citadel. It's not the kind of message I would be very much enthused telling somebody about. My enthusiasm would be very low indeed. It's never nice when you have me to bring off bad news. No, I need to actually look you up. Yada yada yada. I know, lots of story about the planet. I could read it if I wanted to. Actually, if I read all the planet's information, I could probably make a goddamn bedtime story out of it. Considering just how many there are. Well, having a timer just slowly ticked out. Really annoying. Most has to do that I actually have an appointment later on that I need to be, well, at least punctual for. Yeah, I know. Then why the hell are you actually sitting down and streaming right now instead of preparing like a good person would? Mostly because I can. This was actually... well, yeah. I guess we can just... I wanted to actually like this game. I like to play it. Which is kinda surprising. It's not my preferred genre, not my preferred... that genre isn't the right word here. It's not my preferred development for this genre. Let's say it like this. If I have a choice, classical fantasy all the way. Give me the elves, the dwarves, I mean... Don't get me wrong, I've got my share of problems with the idea. The more night-eared brains of the human genome. But you know, still a lot more my usual cup of tea. In fact, I can actually sit here and actually play this game for, well, actually quite a bit this week, considering my usual tendencies to jump around different games, you know. Actually, I always find it surprising. It's just a good mix, I guess. And we've got some pretty cool Xenos species that we can interact with. Yeah, well, at least one of them is actually bangable. I mean, BioWare's idea of romance has always been a bit, well, simplistic, put it mildly, you know. But I guess rarely do we find cases where it's actually done well. Because actually writing good romance would be hard. We'd still try to write a story, so we would have to make it interesting, but long-lasting romances aren't usually that much interesting, sadly enough. Easier to go, well, and they slept with each other, and everybody was happy after that. Make it interesting till there, and then be like, well, and that is it. Now they're all happy. Forever. End of story. probably sounds better than writing L, and the next 30 years they spent, well, you know, doing the little shit. Any little squabbles here and there. About mainly marginal stuff, actually, when you think about it. Again, you need to do the dishes once or twice a week. Okay, I'll do it. If you actually get up and actually do something else. Pretty damn pointless stuff. Yes, but, you know, I need a bread and butter. Yeah. Surprisingly enough, I have actually managed to not wreck my tires yet. I'm actually surprised by that. Second there, I thought actually this would be just the usual point where the game decides to, oh wait, let me correct this little nonsense. And break my tires. Or at least one of them. Now there's a stronghold there, and there's an enemy there. And since I suppose we're here for the stronghold, I don't even know why we're here. I don't even think I have a mission for here. I'm basically just... Hey, I can land here. Let us land here. Now, actually, one problem I have, well, today that is that I don't remember how long the other's mission actually took. I don't remember it being that long, so we're gonna finish it in time. Actually, might even have a bit time left over. But if we have, we can just go back to, you know, Citadel. Tell a certain very desperate admiral about his man, and maybe go a bit shopping if there's anything interesting. I don't think really there is right now. I've been quite a bit of the believer of the good old don't buy in shops. Go on adventure. Go out there and find stuff. Usually better anyway. Most of the time it actually works. The only thing you really want to buy in a shop is the very expensive, overly expensive stuff. Because that's usually good stuff you can't really get. Yeah, I don't really see it on my map. Yeah, it's like in Baldur's Gate when you go shopping, there's like this item that costs 100,000 G and you're like, oh yeah, that's probably good. And you look at it and like, yeah, I can totally see this being very good indeed. You don't need it to finish the game, but you know, I'd rather have it. Oh shit. I managed to park in just the wrong way. Luckily that didn't hurt. Because technically speaking that would have very well done something horrible to my helmet. Now there's a stronghold. And I can actually see it. I don't know what's in it. What could it be? F. Pirates. Who else? Another group of überhirtigly gifted people being like, oh, for freedom and all of that. Red markers. Red markers are always a good sign, aren't they? Oh, I'm taking bets. Pirates, Gev. I think pirates, personally. I don't even know why, I'm just, why'd Gev play at league? Hi! Actually right for once. That's a surprise. I don't tend to be right in such circumstances. Maybe some vestige of memory actually came back for a second there and was like, oh, it's pirates, it's pirates. Oh, another pirate base. Wow. Oh. Lots of yo-ho and stuff like that. Oh, look at that.
All targets down.
Yes, indeed, Garrus. All targets are indeed down.
Heading to position.
So we have a nice little car that is completely overpowered when you think about it against ground troops. Actually, let me get myself a bit of a shield. And then let's take a careful look. Now let's see what they're gonna do. You will? I wanna see that.
Enemy is everywhere.
I will disagree with that one. Jesus. I like to do that myself. Yes. I don't very much like when that's done to me. Yeah, come on. Come on, come on.
Dead and done, just the way I like them.
Yeah, they are hopefully pretty dead. Oh, also that reminds me now that after yesterday, all of my settings were just kinda messed up, and TechBoy still wasn't here to set everything back to how it was. It might actually sound a bit different than usual. Just you know, take it like a champ or a stiff upper lip. Kinda reminds me that I really wanna still play that. Like I would actually pay for that. A Warcraft Total War, yes. I'd pay for that. Not too sure if I want to pay Creative Assembly for that. Now that I think about it. Wasn't all that satisfied with their products lately, you know? Oh, shit. Yeah. Let's go ahead and set the Lady Slayers and Nasana Dentius. Excuse me. Nice. I've got some blackmail material. Is this hard? Yes, it is. That. Well, that's very nice information. That's was some very nice money. Indeed. Well, typically speaking, I wouldn't do something like this, but you know, I was kinda set on being a bit more of a renegade commander this time, and this seems play very nicely into my hands. Didn't remember that was in this system. Oh. God damn it, what's wrong with my throat these days? Today, to be fair. Yesterday it was all like fine and dandy, and today it's like, don't wanna talk. I didn't even drink anything yesterday. Like it was. Right, what was it called? There, right, that one. Let me reposition myself here a bit. And then we'll get this one. The one who's completely not available right now. Dr. Liaratisoni.
Commander, I'm picking up some strange readings. Really strange, like off the damn charts. It looks
That
like
doesn't sound good. Right, it's a predetermined course I need to drive.
Complex a few clicks away from the drop zone.
Okay, I'm going for it. Well, $10 say the Geth are not gonna be happy with me being here. Ah, yes, the GIF. I also remember there's actually a GIF you can pick up. Legion. Kinda fun. Oh, let's make sure that we don't accidentally drop into the lava. The hot one. Hot orange, not good. Lava deadly. To put it in terms that I have heard screamed very loudly, very often. Do not stand in the fire, please. Just a few decibel louder. Dropship. You're gonna go all Geffy on me? Yeah, of course you. Good. Well, at least now I somewhat remember what this mission was. Also now along the line of annoyingly driving a pre-described course while shooting at Geff. Not the most fun one can have, but you know, I'll take it. Shit.
Only a fool punches a knapsack in the mouth. We should sneak around and pull its tail.
Sneak around? Oh, you mean like this? Well, the question is, can I actually lure them out? Actually, is there even a way in? Like this? No, of course not. Now let me guess here. You're going to force me to go the other way around. Whoa. That was unexpected. I really didn't think there was anything in the way that would make such a jump reasonable. Oh, come on. Seriously? Well, one has to admit the gap aren't necessarily the brightest when it comes to tactical decisions. And what's that poor little shock trooper gonna do? Apart from getting blown apart, of course, that much I can at least guarantee him. Then let's go a bit exploring. And this is just gonna be the gatehouse, isn't it? So basically just... Oh, I can actually... Oh. Ooh, died rather quickly. Alright, actually did get a chance to equip some good stuff, didn't I? Oh, at least our way back is now secure. That could potentially be useful. I don't really think I need that. Well, doesn't matter. I now have a good option to run back. Which doesn't seem all that useful considering that we just landed at some random spot and then were forced to pretty much just drive. Actually, why did they put us out all the way back here? Didn't we know where the dig site actually was? I mean, aren't I a Spectre? Shouldn't I have access to pretty much all the files that I need, including where the dig site is? Question mark? I'm just saying, you know. It fall totally in my my jurisdiction. Yeah. Sprint. Not enough enemies around. I can try something. Hmm. Yeah, I kinda figured you would do that.
Securing point.
Now, what's behind door number 3 in this case? Oh, little shop trooper. Oh, that kinda sounded sad. Well, I would sound sad too. If I would get shot to pieces like this.
I think we're good, Shepard.
Ah, do you think so? Personally, I think so too. Somewhat. I actually now have 3 shields, which is also very much to my liking. I just need to remember to, at some point, for the final mission, go back to the Pinnacle Station and finish those last 4 missions, because those are fucking annoying, putting it mildly. Especially if you try to do them when you're not yet technically all that well equipped. Damn. Straight through him. Get what you get. You get. No, shoot me. I don't like being shot at. Oops. Oh, come on. That missed by a mile. You could say that was a hit. A rocket trooper. A lonely little rocket trooper. Well, you're kinda worse at shooting than I am. Yeah, sometimes it's just one little move back and you're all clear. Well, it looks kinda impressive. Well, if I would actually manage to get in here. Also, my car's kinda bouncy, isn't it? Whoop, whoop, whoop. You know this was a futuristic lowrider. Nobody said so. Jesus. Come on. Ah, you. For real. You know what? Let's actually try this the old-fashioned way. Jesus. I even suck at GTAing him. Let's not talk about that again. Too much lava. Hot plate lava. And another time. Well, great. That drive has actually taken quite a bit of time now. Nope. I mean, technically speaking, do I need to stop and shoot them all the time? I guess I could just continue driving right through them. I guess. I also imagine that ending very horribly for me.
Engaging target.
Jesus. Car. See, that wasn't that hard now, was it? Well, okay, to be fair, you wouldn't be able to your gun depression would probably not be very good. That angle. Okay, I will admit that. I'm just stupid. I'm not seeing it. Jesus. Alright. That's the annoying part where you have to then start to go on foot.
Heading out?
Sure, we'll do it. That's the worst that could happen. A big one. That could happen actually. Now that would be very much annoying. Unbeatable or something. Oh, shit. Schnieper. Stand in die Schnieperfeger. Replace them. Oh, very fortunate that I just put it up. Otherwise it could have ended with an instant, well, I'm dead again moment. Oh, Jesus, the GIF do like to make it obvious that there is something here. Meanwhile, what they send so many just sit in my way. You idiot. What a freaking rocket launcher. Can't really expect that thing to fire through such small space. That's gonna end up horrible. Ah, it's those douche again. Oh, come on. Are you serious? Oh, shit. Why are you looking the wrong way, you idiot? Okay, let's look around here. This feels like I'm horribly underarmed. I need a few more weapons. Why are you not shooting them down? Well, all things considered, this went better than I had feared. It's all around. Kinda happy. Can I actually slip through? Oh, I can. Thank you very much, Gabe. Now then, let's not wait outside here for other annoyances to show up. A little bit of healing to the poor old Garrus. Don't want you to get any war scars just yet. We've still got a whole war ahead of us. And saving. And we're still good time-wise. Hello, you two little idiots. That sniper was a bit too close for comfort.
Shut up, Commander. Let's get moving.
Yes, we shall. We shall indeed get moving. Alright, these godforsaken force field shit. Where you have to activate something.
Visited a Prothean ruin before. Aside from the Citadel, I mean.
Ah, boy. Can't remember this. I think you needed to activate this drill laser thingy bob. And I think. Well. out if I want to or not.
Now it gets fun. Sterile light. Protheans sure build things.
Oh, if you say so, I don't know. Not really my preferred style, but you know, maybe. Oh. Everybody's like, I don't care about all the sparks going around. Well, I guess.
Hello? Could somebody help me? Please?
Theoretically, yes. I would very much like to do that.
Can you hear me out there? I'm trapped. I need help.
Liara Tassoni, I presume.
Thank the goddess. I did not think anyone would come looking for me. Listen, this thing I'm in is a Prothean security device. I cannot move, so I need you to get me out of it, all right?
How'd you end up in there?
I was exploring the ruins when the Geth showed up, so I hid in here. Can you believe that? Geth beyond the veil!
I can believe that very much.
I activated the
Oh
tower's
boy.
defenses. I knew the barrier curtains would keep them out. When I turned it on, I must have hit something I wasn't supposed to. I was trapped in here. You must get me out, please!
Your mother is working with Saren. Whose side are you on?
What? I am not on anybody's side.
Time to change that.
I may be Benezia's daughter, but I'm nothing like her. I have not spoken to her in years. Please, just get me out of here.
Fine.
We'll find some way to help you.
There is a control in here that should deactivate this thing. You'll have to find some way past the barrier curtain. That's the tricky part. The defenses cannot be shut off from the outside. I don't know how you'll get in here.
Yeah, I'll find a way.
Be careful. There is a Krogan with the Geth. They have been trying different ways to get past the barrier.
Well, they have obviously, pretty damn obviously actually failed until now, so... Yeah, sorry to say, I'm not really that worried. Started with the shield. Annoying little one. Now then. This is, I believe, the drill I need to use. Yes, it is. As usual, let's first check out everything else. Just in case something's hidden in here. I don't actually think there was anything hidden in here, but you know. Could be some. Yes, there actually are seeds. Weapon locker. That's the kind of stuff you kind of forget about. Now we'll activate it. And then everything gonna come down on us. Hell is gonna break loose. Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. Well, or something like that. Yeah. Nice. And I'm not even getting the, oh god, we need to hold this position for 5 minutes. Sad. I'm feeling kind of robbed of my experience now. Oh well. Actually, if that was that easy to do, then why the living hell did the Geth not figure that one out? Okay, let's see. Can't play with the shit.
How did you get in here? I didn't think there was any way past the barrier.
Superior
Blasted through
firepower.
it with the mining laser.
Of course. Yes, that makes sense.
Yes.
Please, get me out of here before more Geth arrive. That button over there should shut down this containment field.
Sure, we'll do it. Actually, if we were on Venezia's side, that would be a fucking mistake. Because now she could call Biotic on us and be like, booch.
Any idea how we get out of this place?
There is an elevator back in the center of the tower. At least I think it's an elevator.
You
It should
think?
take us out of here. Come on.
That's not a very good plan.
I still cannot believe all this. Why would the Geth come after me? Do you think Benezia's involved?
Saren's looking for the conduit.
Kinda do.
You're a Prothean expert. Obviously, he wants you to help him.
Jesus,
find
throat,
The
please.
conduit, but I don't know.
What the hell was that?
These ruins are not stable. That mining laser must have triggered a seismic
Uh-oh.
event. We have to hurry. The whole place is caving in.
Joker, get the Normandy airborne and lock in on my signal. On the double, mister.
Aye, aye, Commander. Secure and away. ETA 8 minutes.
Let's get out of here.
If I die in here, I'll kill him.
Good point, Rex. Very good point. Come on, little Gif. I'm waiting for you. Da, 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 da. There they are. And they've got the chrome. But we've got a superior chrome wizard. And he's very much angry.
Surrender. I don't. Have to fun.
Surrender.
We don't have time to deal with this idiot. Charge!
I like your attitude.
I know. Ever since I started doing it, and all the bad guys are like, I like your attitude. Finally, I don't need to waste my time with you. Idiot. Oops. I didn't finish you off. Oh well. That looks very unsafe. See, that is why it's good to do your daily exercises. You never know when you need to control out from a collapsing protein ruin. Yes. Jesus. Well,
Too close,
that worked.
Commander. 10 more seconds we would have been swimming in molten sulfur. The Normandy isn't equipped to land in exploding volcanoes. They tend to fry our sensors and melt our hull. Just for future reference.
Well,
We almost died out there, and your pilot is making jokes?
It's a coping mechanism. You'll get used to it.
I see. It must be a human thing. I don't have a lot of experience dealing with your species, Commander.
don't worry,
But I
we
am
can change
grateful
that if
to
we
you.
want to.
You saved my life back there, and not just from the volcano. Those Geth would have killed me or dragged me off to Saren.
What did Saren want with you? Do you know something about the conduit?
Only that it was somehow connected to the Prothean extinction. That is my real area of expertise. I have spent the past 50 years trying to figure out what happened to them.
How old are you exactly?
I hate to admit it, but I am only 106.
Damn.
Young
I
one.
hope I look that good when I'm your age.
A century may seem like a long time to a short-lived species like yours, but among the Asari I am barely considered more than a child. That is why my research has not received the attention it deserves. Because of my youth, other Asari scholars tend to dismiss my theories on what happened to the Protheans.
I've got my own theory on why the Protheans disappeared.
With all due respect, Commander, I have heard every theory
I've got
out
a new
there.
one for
The
you.
problem is finding evidence to support them. The Protheans
But I know
left
it, I've got it in my
remarkably little
brain.
behind. It is almost as if someone did not want the mystery solved.
Yeah,
It
there's
is
somebody
like
who does
someone
want
came
that.
along after the Protheans were gone and cleansed the galaxy of clues.
Precisely.
But here is the incredible part. According to my findings, the Protheans were not the first galactic civilization to mysteriously vanish. This cycle began long before them.
Where'd you come up with this theory? I thought there wasn't any evidence.
Ha.
I have been working on this for 50 years. I have tracked down every scrap and shred of evidence.
If you are
Eventually,
106
subtle
and you
patterns
have
start to
wasted
emerge,
50 years, then you started
patterns
at
that hint at the
56.
truth.
At that
It
point,
is
wouldn't you have
difficult to
been a
explain to someone
child
else.
by
I
SRS
cannot
standards?
point to one specific thing to prove my case. It is more
I don't
a
think
feeling derived from a half
children
century
do
of
research.
dedicated research.
No,
But
I
I
just
know
wanted to
I'm
point that
right,
out.
and eventually I will be able to prove it. There were other civilizations
Also, this is
before
the whole point
Protheans.
about why we have
This cycle
subtitles
has
in
repeated
games.
itself many
Because then I can
times
talk over her like I want. Ah, isn't that nice? And people can still read along.
What cycle? What are you talking about?
Come on, Shepard,
The
it's
galaxy is
easy.
built on a cycle of extinction. Each time a great civilization rises up, it is suddenly and violently cast down. Only ruins survive. The Protheans rose up from a single world until their empire spanned the entire galaxy. Yet even they climbed to the top on the remains of those who came before.
Yes, this is what we all
Their
do.
greatest achievements, the mass relays and the Citadel, are based on the technology of those who came before them.
Yes. And they didn't
then,
understand
like
them
all
either.
the other forgotten civilizations throughout galactic history, the Protheans disappeared. I have dedicated my life to figuring out why.
Shut up and I tell you.
You're not much of an expert, Doctor. The answer's been standing in front of you the whole time. The Protheans were wiped out by a race of machines. The Reapers.
Ha ha ha.
The Reapers? But I have never heard of. How do you know this?
It got it in
What
my
evidence do you have?
brain.
There was a damaged Prothean beacon on Eden Prime. It burned a vision into my brain. I'm still trying to sort out what it all means.
Visions. Yes, that makes sense. The beacons were designed to transmit information directly into the mind of the user. Finding one that still works is extremely rare. No wonder the Geth attacked Eden Prime. The chance to acquire a working beacon, even a badly damaged one, is worth almost any risk. But the beacons were only programmed to interact with Prothean physiology. Whatever information you received would have been confused, unclear.
Well, yeah, kinda. But you know.
I am amazed you were able to make sense of it at all. A lesser mind would have been utterly destroyed by the process. You must be remarkably strong-willed,
You
Commander.
haven't seen me do
Okay,
side
this
quests now,
isn't
have
helping
you?
us find Saren or the conduit.
Of course, you're right. I am sorry, my scientific curiosity got the better of me.
I need to be rather strong-willed,
Unfortunately,
otherwise I
do not
wouldn't
have
bother with
any
all the goddamn
information that
side
could
quests
help you
because they
find
can
the conduit
you
or
don't seem to
Saren.
get anything done when I'm not involved. Well, you can still help us.
I don't know why Saren wanted you out of the picture, but I think we'll be a lot better off if we bring you along.
Thank you, Commander. Saren might come after me again. I cannot think of anywhere safer than here on your ship. And my knowledge of the Protheans might be useful later on.
Well, let's hope
And her
so.
biotics will come in handy when the fighting starts.
Good to have you on the team, Liara.
Thank you,
See,
Commander.
he can actually
I am
smile
very
sometimes.
grateful.
He just doesn't do it often.
Oh, I am afraid I am feeling a bit lightheaded.
When was the last time you ate? Or slept? Dr. Chakwa should take a look at you.
It is probably just mental exhaustion, coupled with the shock of discovering the Protheans' true fate. I need some time to process all this.
Well, we have just
Still,
met and you
it would
already
not
believe
hurt to be
everything I say.
examined by a
You
medical
invested 50
professional.
years
It will give me the chance
in
to
research.
think things
Just
over.
like that, you're like,
Are we finished here, Commander?
Go see the
I
doctor.
believe you,
The rest of
random
it,
human.
dismissed.
Mission reports are filed, Commander. You want me to patch you through to the Council?
Do I want to? Well, sure.
Patch him through, Joker.
Setting up the link now, Commander.
We've received your report, Commander. I understand Dr. Tassoni is on the Normandy.
Jeez.
I assume you're taking the necessary security precautions.
Don't tell me how to do my job.
You
He
are
says
free
about it.
to act as you see fit, Commander. Our role is to offer guidance and advice.
It's up to you if you're smart enough to listen.
Liara's on our side. The Geth were trying to kill her.
Indeed.
Benezia would never allow Saren to kill her daughter.
Maybe she doesn't know.
Or maybe we don't know her. We never expected she could become a traitor.
At least the mission was a success.
Well,
Apart from the utter destruction of a major Prothean ruin. Was that really necessary, Shepard?
We almost died in there. The Geth were everywhere.
well, no.
Of course, Commander. The mission must always take priority.
Good luck, Commander. Remember, we are all counting on you.
I mean, yes, I have a point. Maybe it wasn't necessarily strictly necessary to completely destroy the ruin. We could have maybe, you know, taken a bit longer. Brought some of our own equipment in. You guys weren't in any rush there, as far as I was aware. Well. Boop.
Yes, Commander?
Anything to say?
Carry on, Presley.
Nothing new from you?
Yes, sir.
Just did a major quest. I wonder what everybody has to say. Hmm. Ba-da-da-da-da.
I prefer gold to silver, you know, for my medal. I figured you'd recommend me for one since I, pulled your boots out of the fire.
If we present you with a medal, you'll end up sitting on stage listening to politicians make speeches for a couple of hours. Fun.
That's a good point. They'd probably make me shave, too. I spent the last 7 weeks working on this baby. No medal's worth that.
No,
So,
it does suit you.
why
Looks
don't
good.
you tell me why you
I
really
approve. Anything else?
How'd you end up joining the Alliance?
Look, if you're looking for an inspirational tale of the crippled kid overcoming impossible odds, you're gonna be disappointed. My mother was a civilian contractor working for the Alliance. I basically grew up on the Arcturus station back when they were building up the fleets. Spend all that time around Alliance ships, there's a good chance you'll end up going to the Academy.
Good point.
How's the Normandy performing? Is she everything they said she'd be?
She's the best ship in the fleet. Balances. The Normandy's probably too much ship for your average Alliance pilot.
I like to know my crew. Mind if I ask?
You won top of my class in flight school? I earned that.
I can't have...
Well, we've had it
Put the Normandy in my hands and I'll make her...
I have to go.
Okay, so nothing really new from you. Well, kinda sad. Good night, Joker. Down we go. Actually, so we have more points to spend now. Alright, I became a nemesis. What does lift do? Press lifting here. Keeping them there and shooting them sounds pretty nice. But let's actually finish the row first. Shouldn't take that long. No, let's start on this side. Give it some Medicil.
Yes, Commander? Is there something you need?
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
Not really the most talkative, are ya? You should rest, shouldn't you?
Commander, are you coming to check up on me?
Sure, let's
You
be
look
nice.
much
You're
better.
part of my crew.
How are you feeling?
Dr. Chakwas assures me I am going to be fine. I was impressed with her knowledge of Asari physiology.
You're in good hands. Dr. Chakwas knows what she's doing.
I never properly thanked you for saving me from the Geth, Commander. If you hadn't shown up,
I'm just glad we got there in time.
so am I.
Part of the
I
crew.
know you
I'm
took
gonna
a
be very
chance
nice to
bringing me
you.
aboard this ship. I have seen the way your crew looks at me. They do not trust me.
Well,
But I
kinda
am not
understandable.
like Benezia. I will do whatever I can to help you stop Saren.
We'll see. I mean,
Don't worry, Liara. I trust you. I know you won't let me down.
It means a lot to hear you say that, Commander.
well, I've
Thank
known
you.
you through the sea games, so, you know.
Tell me about yourself, Liara.
Me? I am afraid I am not very interesting, Commander. I spend most of my time on remote digs, unearthing mundane items buried in long-forgotten Prothean ruins.
Sounds dangerous. And lonely.
Sometimes I would run afoul of indigenous life forms or stumble across a small band of mercenaries or privateers, but I was always careful.
Well,
Until the Geth followed me to Artemis Tau. I never found myself in any situation my biotics could not handle. As for the solitude, well, that is one aspect that most appealed to me. Sometimes I just need to get away from other people.
You don't like other people?
I suppose it comes from being a matriarch's daughter. People expected me to follow in Benezia's footsteps. They wanted me to become a leader of our people. Matriarchs guide their followers into the future. They seek the truth of what is yet to come. Maybe that's why I became so interested in the secrets of the
yeah,
past.
so basically you're an angsty teenager who
It
just
sounds
goes
so
against her
foolish
parents.
when I say it out loud. It sounds like I became an archaeologist simply to spite Benezia.
Not to spite, just because, you know, you don't tend to have a bit of a rebellious streak here and there.
All children rebel against their parents.
See?
It's a natural part of growing up.
Aha, you share the wisdom of the matriarch, Shepard. That is exactly what Benezia said when I told her of my decision. But there was more to it than that. I felt drawn to the past, The Protheans were these wondrous, mysterious figures. I wanted to know everything about them. That is why I find you so fascinating.
Aren't I?
You were marked by the beacon on Eden Prime. You were touched by working Prothean technology.
Sounds like you want to dissect me in a lab somewhere.
What? No, I did not mean to insinuate. I never meant to offend you, Shepard.
Was a joke,
I
you
only
know.
meant that you would be an interesting specimen for an in-depth study.
It sounds even
That's
worse.
even worse.
Calm down, Liara. I was only joking.
Joking?
Of
Oh,
course
by
I
the
was
goddess,
joking.
How could I be so dense? You must think I am a complete and utter fool. Now you know why I prefer to spend my time in the field with data disks and computers. I always seem to say something embarrassing around other people.
Don't worry,
Please,
everybody does
just
that
pretend
sometimes.
this conversation never happened.
I'd like to know more about the Asari.
We were the first species to discover the Citadel. We were instrumental in forming the Council, and we always strive to be the voice of peaceful cooperation in galactic disputes.
Yeah, that kinda didn't work out, eh?
My people
Think about the
believe we are all
Ragni.
part of a
Think about the
single galactic
Krogans.
community. Each species contributes something to the greater whole. Although we seek
Yes,
to
no,
understand
not
other
really.
species, it seems few of them seek to understand us. The galaxy is filled with rumors and misinformation about my people.
Yeah, how
Like
bad
what?
could it be?
Most of the inaccuracies are centered around our mating rituals. My species is monogendered. Male and female have no real meaning
Oh,
for us.
right, that part of your
We
species.
still require a partner to reproduce. This second parent, however, may be of any species and any gender.
Well, how is that even
I don't
possible?
understand. Your species can mate with anyone?
Mating is not quite the proper term, not as you understand it. Physical contact may or may not be involved, but it is not an essential element of the union. The true connection is mental. Our physiology allows us to meld with other beings. We can touch the very depths of their minds.
That sounds
We
like a
explore
horrible
the
idea.
genetic memory of their species. We share the most basic elements of their individual and racial identities. We then pass these traits on to our daughters. It is how we learn to grow as a species and how we develop a greater understanding of other races.
What happens to your partner after the union?
Every relationship is different. Some unions are a single encounter with both parents parting ways afterwards. Others can be more long-term. Sometimes an Asari and her partner will stay together for many decades.
Do you know who Matriarch Benezia chose as her partner?
She rarely spoke of her partner. Though I know my father, if you want to use that term, was another Asari.
That's not a really good question. If they couldn't do it, how would they still be alive before they discovered space travel?
I thought you always needed another species to serve as one of the parents.
Dumb
Think
question.
about it, Shepard. If we were not able to mate with our own species, we would have died out long before we ever mastered spaceflight and left our homeworld. Union
Indeed.
with our own kind is no
Otherwise, you
longer
would be
common.
insinuating that
Not
they
for
are
purposes
actually
of
mating with the
reproduction.
animals on their planet.
Most Asari believe it
Because that would also
weakens
be an
our
option if
species.
they need another species.
Asari daughters inherit racial traits from the father
Actually, now I think about it, would that actually
If
be
both
possible?
parents are Asari, then nothing has
Do you
been
need
gained.
actually a mind to meld
so
together,
conventional
or is
wisdom
that
would
just
hold.
bonus?
I am what is sometimes called a
Ah,
pure
never really
blood.
thought about it
Though
actually.
no Asari would ever be cruel enough
An
to
interesting
say the word
question,
to my
actually.
face. It is a great insult among my people. It is possible Benezia's partner was embarrassed by their union. She may have been too ashamed to publicly acknowledge me as her offspring.
Well, you don't know that.
Maybe she wanted to meet you but couldn't. Something could have happened to her. Maybe she passed away.
Oh, lots of horrible things can happen.
You might be right. I hope you are. But I have no way to know for sure. Benezia never spoke of her partner. Whatever happened, it caused her too much pain to dwell on it. She raised me by herself, though that is not uncommon. Many Asari raise their children alone, particularly if the father species is short-lived. Often the partner will pass on long before the child reaches maturity.
You Asari live for 1,000 years. What happens when your partner dies?
Few sapient species live as long as my kind. We have learned to take a philosophical approach to our unions. We do not focus on the inevitable loss of our partners. Instead, we enjoy the time we spend with them. And even after they're
That's
gone,
what you do, actually.
a part of them lives on in us. The union is a connection that transcends both time and space.
Do you know why Benezia joined up with Saren?
I don't understand it. She was always outspoken about the need for the Asari to become more involved in shaping galactic events. Maybe she thought allying herself with Saren would somehow be for the greater good in the long run. At least I hope so.
Maybe she's just evil. That's not a good answer.
Doesn't it?
None of this makes any sense to me. I have not spoken to Benezia in many years, but I know her, and this was not like her. Something changed.
I should go.
Goodbye, Shepard.
At least we learned something and we got some XP out of that. But still, that would actually be an interesting point. Again.
Anything you need, Commander?
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
Is this an official evaluation, Commander? Or off the record?
Alenko, when it's just you and me, you can consider it off the record.
That's a generous attitude. Okay. I think there's something wrong with all this.
Don't speak free.
Saren is looking for records on some kind of galactic extinction, but we can't get backup from the Council? Sorry, Commander. There's writing on the wall here, but someone isn't reading it.
Actually, yeah.
The Council doesn't want to believe anything's wrong. I'd call it human nature, but...
I hear you. It just seems like a group that's been around as long as the Council should see this coming.
Should, maybe.
Sorry if I got too informal. Protocol wasn't a big focus back in Bot.
Tell me about it.
Biotic acclimation and temperance didn't last past the airlock. To the kids they hauled in, it was brain camp. Sorry, hauled in is unkind. We were encouraged to commit to an evaluation of our abilities so an understanding of biotics could be compiled.
Sounds horrible.
There are worse results of accidental exposure to element 0 in the womb. Beats the brain tumors some kids grew up with.
Is there some question about how you were exposed?
My mother was downwind of a transport crash. It was before there were human biotics, a little after the discovery of the Martian ruins. It only gets iffy around 63 when Kinetics was running out of first-gen subjects. Until then, they'd relied on accidentals. Bunch of guys in suits show up at your door after school, and next thing you know, you're out on Jump Zero.
Jump Zero is Gagarin Station, right? What's it like?
Yeah, that's the official name. Biggest and farthest facility we had for decades. Right on the termination shock, the outer edge of the solar system. It's where they did all the Goose Chase FTL research before we caught on to using mass effect fields. It was a sterile research platform when I was there.
There were other kids in the same boat, right? At least you weren't alone out there.
That's true. We did have a little circle that'd get together every night before lights out. We didn't have much to do, though. It was a research platform then, and Kinetics kept Jump Zero off the extranet to prevent leaks.
Then you must have had plenty of time to get to know each other.
Yeah,
sure.
we'd sit around and bull every night after dinner, play cards or network games. There was this girl named Rana, who had a little circle grow up around her. She was from Turkey. Her family was very rich. But she was smart and charming as hell. Beautiful, but not stuck up about it.
Well, sounds like you were into her.
Sounds like she was special to you.
Indeed.
She was. Maybe she felt the same. But things never felt together. Training, you know.
You know of any intentional exposures for certain?
No one knows. Doesn't mean they didn't happen. As big as the exposures were, it was hard to track down accidentals. It was different then. No one knew the potential, so there wasn't a lot of regulation. Anything Kinetics did was gold. I'm not saying they intentionally detonated drives over our outposts, but in retrospect, they were damn quick on the scene.
No.
Jump Zero is a long way from home. What was it like?
The grand gateway to humanity looks a lot better in the vids. But that's my own baggage, Commander. No bearing on this.
Alenko, there's no regulation that says you can't be friends with your commander.
See, I'm a nice guy.
That, Commander. I just don't want you to think that I'm a whiner. Besides, I've got my past squared away.
Which is good, considering the sort of mission we're on. Alex, you think we have the well, necessary room for somebody to slip up because of the past, being like, ooh, my time is hard. Actually nothing for me to pick up. That's kinda sad. we go. What a nice way to finish. Talking a bit with the crew. Getting to know those guys. I mean, they can potentially go with you a very, very, very long way. Yo, Garrus.
Commander, how are you?
Why did you want to be a CSEC officer in the first place?
That's a good question. There were several reasons, I guess.
Like what?
Probably the same as most officers. I wanted to fight injustice, wanted to help people. I guess my father had something to do with it too. He was CSEC, one of the best. I grew up hearing about his accomplishments or seeing his picture on the vids after a big arrest. He's taking my resignation pretty hard.
That's tough, but you'd think he'd be impressed you're going after Saren.
My father's a CSEC man to the bone. Do things right or don't do them at all, he says. He thinks I'm being too rash, too impatient. He's worried I'll become just like Saren. He actually taught me out of becoming a Spectre when I was younger, for the same reasons.
You were asked to be a Spectre?
Well, I was targeted as a possible Spectre candidate. Me and about 1,000 other Turian military recruits. I could have received special training, but my father didn't like it. He despises the Spectres. He hates the idea of someone having unlimited power with no accountability. He wouldn't like you, Commander. No offense.
I suppose I can understand his concern.
You can, but Saren's not going to play by our rules.
Nope, he's not.
Rules. If you want to nail Saren, you need to send someone who isn't restricted by policies and procedures.
Which is exactly right, yes.
You're a quick learner, Garrus. We'll beat him at his own game. It's the only way to stop someone like him.
I'm right behind you, Commander.
That's actually precisely it. If you have somebody who doesn't play by the rules, you need somebody who also doesn't play by the rules, otherwise it's not going to end up very well.
Commander, you have a minute to talk?
Yeah.
I keep an open door policy. If you have any concerns, lay them on me.
All right. I know things are different aboard the Normandy, but I'm concerned about the aliens, Vicarian and Rex. With all due respect, Commander, should they have full access to the ship?
Don't mince words, Chief. What's your concern?
Yes,
this is the most advanced ship in the Alliance Navy.
It is.
I don't think we should give them free rein to poke around the vital systems. Engines, sensors, weapons.
I'm not going to lock them in the sleeper pods for the whole trip, Williams.
I'd be more comfortable if they didn't have access to engineering and the CIC. We, humanity, have to learn to rely on ourselves.
How do you get from relying on ourselves to mistreating our allies?
I don't mean we should mistreat them, Commander. I just think we should be prepared to go it without them. As noble as the council members seem now, if their backs are against the wall, they'll abandon us.
Well, of course they will, but we would do the very same to them, so we can't really complain there.
The council's had a grudge against us since the First Contact War.
I don't think it's a grudge. I think it's... Look, if you're fighting a bear and the only way for you to survive is to sick your dog on it and run, you'll do it. As much as you love your dog, it isn't human.
Well, some people would actually disagree there.
Not really. Members of their species will always be more important to them than humans are.
You sound like one of those Terra Firma party pamphlets, Chief.
Terra Firma is a pack of jackals. The founders had ideals. These days they just play off xenophobia and bigotry. I hope my reasons are more rational. My father, grandfather, great-grandmother, they all picked up a rifle and swore the oath of service.
Nice.
I guess we just tend to think of Earth's interests as our own.
I never knew my family. Grew up an orphan on Earth. Anybody in your family I'd have heard of?
Couldn't say, Commander. So why are you out here? Just trying to get away from Earth?
Earth's seen better days. Lots of pollution, too many people. People are trying to fix it, but...
But right now, it's not the best place to be. I guess without a family, you had no reason to stay.
It doesn't sound like you've worked with aliens before.
No, sir. Mainly I've been groundside, part of the surface garrison forces.
Kinda
I did
boring.
get a rotation on a space station for training. Every Marine a rifleman, every rifleman ZG certified.
That's odd. Your record is spotless and your technical scores are exemplary. You should be serving with the fleet.
Anyway, that's why I haven't served with many aliens, Commander.
Well, I understand your feelings, but you know...
All right. I can see where your concerns are coming from, Williams. But this is a multilateral mission. You're going to have to work with aliens, like it or not.
It won't be a problem, Commander. You say jump, I say how high. You tell me to kiss a Turian, I'll ask which cheek.
Ha ha ha, let's make it a joke.
Would you kiss anyone I ordered you to?
That depends, sir. If you ordered me to kiss a superior officer, that would be a violation of the regs concerning fraternization.
Shit, she's right.
That would make it an illegal order. I'd be required to decline and relieve you of command. Sir.
Nice.
What's your opinion on the last one?
Not sure I buy Dr. Tassoni's story about her and her mom not talking. They're family, right?
Yeah, we should actually keep an eye on her,
I'm
just
not
in
sure
case.
I believe it either. It's better to have her where we can see her.
That makes sense. Too bad those ruins got destroyed. I mean, they lasted thousands of years. That's impressive.
We'll talk later, Williams.
Looking forward to it, sir.
Well, it works.
So, we've got Saren on the run.
It won't be long now. Saren's good, but I'm better.
Good? He's rotten. To the core.
Yes, he is, apparently.
I could tell as soon as I met him.
Why didn't you tell me this sooner?
I would have if I thought it was important.
Well, fair enough.
I think I'd like to hear about it just the same.
This was a while ago. A bunch of mercs were bragging about a job out near the edges of the Terminus systems. They said it paid well and the boss was never around to ride them. They said he was looking for more men, too. So I checked it out.
I didn't know Saren was openly recruiting mercs.
It wasn't that open, and he only showed his face once. We'd been raiding ships in the area for months when we took out this massive cargo freighter. Our biggest haul yet.
Nice.
I was on board checking bodies for valuables, looking for some extra credits. That's when I saw him.
So, what was he doing?
What
That's
did
a good
Saren
question.
want with the ship?
I don't know what he wanted. He was just moving through the ship, watching. A couple of the mercs called him by name, but he never spoke to them. Never spoke to anyone. I had a really bad feeling about him, so I got the hell out. Didn't even wait to get paid.
Whose ship was it?
There was a Volus trading vessel. Big one. Lots of guards. But they were no match for us.
What kind of cargo was the freighter carrying? What was Saren after?
I don't know. All I saw on that ship was food and medical supplies. There were some basic weapons, but nothing big. If there was anything of value on that ship, I didn't see it. That's why I didn't mention it sooner.
That's the only time you saw him?
Yeah. Didn't even know who he was. Still wouldn't if I hadn't joined up with you. But my instincts were right. Every other merc on that mission turned up dead within a week. Every damn one.
Yeah, kinda sounds like something Saren would do.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
Yeah, that sounds like the method of somebody like Saren. You probably have
Something
to
I
say.
can do for you, Commander.
Carry on.
Nothing
Aye,
new.
Commander.
I'm just taking stuff.
Oh, hello, Shepard.
Are you okay?
I don't know. Your ship is amazing, and your crew's been really great to me. Especially your chief engineer.
See? Nice guys all
But I
around.
just sort of feel out of place. The Normandy runs so smooth it feels like we're not even moving. And the engines are so quiet. How do you sleep at night?
The silence wakes you up?
Back on the flotilla, the last thing you want to hear is silence. It means an engine's died or an air filter shut down.
Jet doesn't sound good.
I guess you don't have to worry about that here. But old habits die hard. But it's more than just the silence. This ship feels so empty. It's like half the crew is missing. Back home, I couldn't wait to go on my pilgrimage. I couldn't wait to get away from the crowds. Now that I'm out here, I kind of miss them.
Sounds like the pilgrimage isn't just about finding resources for the fleet. Maybe it's about teaching you to appreciate your people and culture.
You're probably right. We Quarians spend our whole lives traveling, but really we never leave home. The pilgrimage has given me a whole new perspective on our culture.
Oh, not bad, you know.
There's always a few who go on their pilgrimages and never return. I always assumed something bad happened to them, but maybe they just wanted a different life.
You do plan to return to the migrant fleet, right?
I could never abandon my people, Shepard. I will go back eventually, but we have to stop Saren first. Otherwise, I might not have a home to go back to.
Which is a very good point.
See you later.
I mean, still, at this point in time, Saren kind of seems like an idiot, doesn't he? I mean, who would willfully bring back machine life forms that extinct or alive if you're part of said life? That's just idiotic. That's evil for being evil, and that's not really a good motivation. You know, luckily enough, Saren actually does get a bit more backstory to make us understand that, which is good, because otherwise, dumb, very dumb. Can actually go on somebody, like the consulate, annoy them a bit. Can't. That's not very nice. Well, but I guess this is a pretty good end, isn't it? One down, crew full. Alright, and I have a few things I can do on the Citadel. I've got 21 from 20, that's 9 from 6. That's interesting. Let's make it save. And yeah, I think that is more than enough, and I've actually got... Oh, I hold 5 minutes to spare. Good enough, I would say. Oh, tomorrow is Friday? It is. Oh, excuse me. And that means I actually get to play some actual fantasy game. Ah, nice. I'm actually kind of looking forward to that, because it's Dragon Age. And Dragon Age is pretty damn good. Not Baldur's Gate good, but good. Baldur's Gate I'm kind of saving for myself. When I'm feeling I need a bit of a nostalgia boost and something like that. But yeah, with that I shall meet you at you. Have a good one and all that, and yeah, we'll see each other again. In this case I can actually promise it to be tomorrow, because I actually have that one planned. And I may be a bit late sometimes, sure, but I do tend to keep my promises. Mostly. Don't like to break promises without a very good reason, that is. But yeah, with that in mind, I shall end it. And until then.